They are all very precious and they are all very special. But I must talk about the first horse I bought from Usha Stud Farm, Silverina. Because she was the first that I bought and that was my first horse, she has to be a little more special than the others, though so many of them are absolute stars like Sana and Zoya and so many more that I could name from Usha who have won classics. But I should think, yes, if I have to call out one in terms of seniority, I would call out Silverina. You know, as you walk into Usha Stud Farm, there is uh, a slogan up there, which is their mission statement. It says, "We breed classic winners." So I should think that that is a very interesting mission statement because there is a lot that goes behind it. If you want to go to Usha Stud Farm, please come to Usha Stud Farm. If you are in the classic segment, if you're seeking a horse to win a classic. So that's what that statement says. What it also says is that Usha Stud Farm, all their decisions will be driven by their mission, which is to breed classic winners. So the kind of care, the kind of nutrition, the kind of broodmares that they have, the stallions, everything is geared towards winning classics. And maybe 80% of the classics that, or 90% of the classics that we have won have been Usha bred horses.
A gift of grace was given to me by Amita Mehra, and she had. It's a well-known fact she was a dip back, and normally dip back horses don't do well because they don't have the power to push out. It never seemed to affect. We call her Dippy. Never affected Dippy, and she had this attitude where she wanted to race. She was very aggressive in that, and she was an aggressive horse by nature. And I seemed to get along with her really, really well. So when she came to me, I remember looking at her and sort of saying, "Oh, great, that's a dip-backed horse." But the strange thing is, Rashid Bairamji came to have a look at her, and this I think no one knows. He picked up her leg and immediately turned around, looked at me, and said, "You know what? This is a classic winner." And I don't know what he saw because I mean I saw it afterwards. This filly had just arrived, and he immediately spotted her. So that's the story of Tiffy. And it just went from strength to strength. She did nothing wrong. She just works that hard. Her entire staff works that hard. I mean, there's just this when you go to every tiny aspect from the feed to the, the how the horses are broken in, how they're presented, how they stand. They are the most well-behaved animals that I've seen when they come to us for breaking in. It's no muss, no fuss because they've been brought up so well. So it's just a sheer amount of work she puts in at the farm level, her staff puts in at the farm level. That would make her stand out.
One thing I can say is when the horses used to come from Usha Stud, they were extremely well behaved. And as the assistant, when I was lunging them, all of us would wait for Usha bred horses because they were the easiest to lunge. They were just so easy to handle against some of the other farms that came that would pull arms out, and it would be quite difficult breaking them in. It was just a pleasure breaking in the Usha bred horses. Well, every horse is special, but especially when you win a classic with it, every single horse is special. I've had a brilliant year with speaking of which. I've started off with Stockbridge winning me the Hyderabad Guineas, lost the Derby narrowly. Then it went on to Solento winning me 4 classics, and Mira winning me 2 with this Indian Derby being the greatest race. And I must say that Amita had some kind of faith in me to allow me to run in the Indian Derby. I'm glad she did that because she was wanting to run the Bangalore Derby, and I was very keen to run the Indian Derby because I thought she was of that quality and she should be given a chance to run the Indian Derby. Amita felt that we could run the Bangalore Derby and then go for the Bombay Derby. I told her if we do that, we're not going to win the Bombay Derby because she being a filly, it would take an edge off her, which is required. You have to go with all guns blazing for the Indian Derby. You need all the luck favoring you. Need the gods to shine on you. You need your jockey to ride above his skin. And you need your horse to put its best foot forward. And I think all that happened on the 5th of February. And I was really thrilled that I, it was Usha's 50th anniversary of the farm being founded. And I was surprised to learn it on the podium when she told me that what this race meant to her. And I was glad to deliver it to her. Even though it's her 15th derby, it was my first. But it's something that I'm going to look forward to and think about all my life. My father was never able to win the Indian Derby, and I'm glad I could have done this early on in my career. And looking forward to some more great horses from Usha and looking forward to a great partnership.